All right, welcome back to another one of our film reviews. Today we are talking Buccaneers rookie center Graham Barton and what he's going to bring to this Buccaneers offense. Good news, it's a lot of great stuff for this Tampa Bay team. We've got a great set of cut-ups to highlight exactly what he'll bring. As always, if you appreciate this content, give us a like, give us any comments with any feedback you might have. But without further ado, let's jump right into the film. All right, we're going to open up with the running play, and there is Barton right there at center, right behind or right in front of the quarterback, Kyle Trask. And we're going to get just a standard zone read concept here up front for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. The right tackle is going to work out to that defensive end. We're going to get a double team right there between the center, Barton, and the right guard, working up to the safety right there. He's kind of acting like a linebacker in the box right there, even though he's a safety. We're going to get a sort of backside cutoff double team between these two guys. The tackle's working to take him over. The guard's going to work over here to 59. And Trask is going to read the end man on the line of scrimmage right here. If he stays flat, he's going to hand it off to the running back inside. You can look at these numbers here, and if you count everybody up front, right? So we've got one read guy there. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 defenders, and we've got 5 offensive linemen. This is mano-a-mano football in the red zone. These are have-to-have-it plays up front, and Graham Barton does a phenomenal job. Let's check it out. All right, there's a snap. You can see the read right there. Quarterback eyeing the defensive end. Defensive end stays wide, so it's obviously a give read inside, and you can see this massive hole forming. It's incredible stuff. Let's watch Barton and this movement he gets right here. When you run these kind of inside zone scheme, these zone read kind of schemes, you need dislocation. You need movement. You need these defensive linemen getting blown out of the way because you're trying to create that natural cutback for the running back. Watch Barton right there. Watch the movement he delivers. Look how much he just throws this defensive lineman 3-4 yards down the field. Defensive lineman ends up falling completely on the ground. Let's give 69 some credit there. Cody Mock, he helps finish the job. But this is Barton just delivering a powerful punch, and it gets up on the safety, drives him into the end zone, stays on him. I mean, folks, this is just awesome stuff. And I get it. It's preseason. It's not obviously a perfect rep for anybody up front defensively, but this is incredible. Just dominating the line of scrimmage. It's hats on hats. It's movement. It's putting people in the dirt. This is great stuff, right? This is sort of, I hate to say it because it's early, but this is Ryan Jensen level era, physically dominating at the point of attack. We'll have to see more of Barton against tougher competition, but this is a phenomenal start here from this Buccaneers rookie.
Yeah, Nick, and we've done a lot of film reviews so far. If you go back and look at our channel, lots of data, lots of things we've looked through. And when I look at the scores for Barton, we're not talking offense, we're not talking defense, we're not talking rookies or veterans. He has the highest scores I have seen of anybody this preseason per PFF, an 85.2 overall grade, 87.3 run blocking grade, and an 80.1 pass blocking grade. He was absolutely phenomenal in this first preseason game for the Bucs.
All right, going the other way, there is Barton right there at the center position, of course, right in the middle of your screen. This is going to be another zone running scheme kind of concept here. This time working to the offense's right, the left side of the screen. We're going to get kind of a base block here. We're going to get everyone taking the gap over, then working up. We're going to have this right guard take the gap over, then turn back and seal. We're going to have Barton take the gap over. If number 90 doesn't flash in his gap, he's going to work up to the backside linebacker flowing across. And then we're just going to get backside cutoffs here on the backside, right? And the running back's going to take this path and follow where this real natural hole is, right? You guys see this green grass right here? Pretty easy, right? Running back's just going to work that way right there, just like that. And it's all on these guys right here. They have to get hats on hats. And once again, you can see there are 4 hats right here for the offense and 1, 2, 3, 4 for the defense. Again, mano-a-mano football. Got to win it. Got to have it up front. Barton does a phenomenal job with his rep. It's a really solid run for the Bucs offense. Let's check it out. Get the snap. Again, you can see everyone taking that zone step to the offense's right, left side of your screen, then working up. Tight end base blocking, guard turning back in. The right tackle working up to the linebacker. Barton securing that gap, then working up to number 50. Barton gets on 50, stays on him, drives him, and ends up putting him on his back. That's great stuff, folks. It's winning football. Again, hats on hats right there. 73, he holds him right here. This is one thing I hate. You got him. Slow it down a little bit, turn him into the pile right here, do a little bit better job, and this is a touchdown, right? Got to clean that up, number 73. But if you look at Barton, you look at the rest of the guys up front, this is really great, right? Again, scoring up on number 50. That by itself right there, that's good enough. That'll win you a lot of reps. That'll win you a lot of football. But staying on him, the effort, and then the 1-2 to just bury him, that is great stuff there from Barton. Let's take a look at it from the wide view right here. Looks even better. See how he gets on the second level and just keeps working, keeps driving, keeps moving his feet. I mean, you can tell this is a guy who wants to finish people, who wants to bully people. And this will win you so many battles up front in the run game. Again, this is a huge hole. This is so wonderfully executed up front, except for the right tackle blowing his assignment, then holding right there. That's just a really tough job. But when you look at Barton, he takes a smart path there, gets on the linebacker. Let's go back to the end zone view real quick just to show how good of a path this is. You see how he goes off of this defensive lineman's heels? So he takes that flat angle. He doesn't go vertical. That's smart. That's savvy. That's a Duke guy right there. Again, it's all about taking the right angles when you're working up to linebackers like Barton is. He does everything at a really high level at such a young age. All right, now we got a short yardage situation. It's about third and about one right there, third and yard and a half for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And of course, there's Barton right there, middle of your screen at the center position. And this is just a downhill, gotta have it, short yardage situation. Classic scheme, everybody runs it. We're going to get the tackle and the guard, double teaming, working up to linebacker. We're going to get Barton and the guard right there, working up to that linebacker. Tackle's working inside like this. Tight end's working outside like this. Everyone's inserting with the receivers, and it's just a downhill running scheme right here to the center's right, the left side of your screen. It's this hole. This is where it's designed to go. This is a really smart, savvy play by Barton because, again, like I said, it's a double team right there, working up to number 50, but he's going to make sure that there's no penetration and that these two guys right here stay on the right side that I've drawn up right here, the left side of the offense. He's got to basically make sure there's a seal here and allow the running back to work this way and basically read this double team, right? If these two guys get movement this way, the running back can bounce it that way. Let me clear up the screen here. If these guys don't get a lot of movement, and it's just kind of hats on hats right here, and it's a mess, the running back can kind of cut back this way and just try and get the first down. If this guy jumps out here and the linebacker blitzes, the running back can run straight up the hash, right? The whole point here is for this running back here to read this double team. That's what the whole scheme is. And the only way it works is if Barton maintains good technique and keeps the seal here, keeps these two guys on this side. He does a phenomenal job of it. Let's check it out. There's a snap. You get the two double teams right there inside. You see the wide receivers inserting. You can see the downhill running play happening right there. You can see the running back reading the double team right there. He sees a lot of mush inside. He sees these guys coming off. He's like, okay, I got to work up the hash. That's usually how this play develops because the defensive lineman tries to make a pile, gets kind of stood up a little bit there. Linebacker fills. So right here, you can see Barton. Look how he plays this. Again, is that perfect? Absolutely not. He even loses his balance a little bit. But see how he keeps his shoulders square and keeps his eyes on the linebacker this whole time? Keeps his eyes on him. Even when he has someone fall on his foot, see how he still keeps everything sealed inside to his left? Keeps everything just completely contained over there, doesn't give up any ground, allows the running back to get north and south and get the first down. Again, it's not about being pretty sometimes. Certainly, it's a lot of times it's not being pretty, especially in the interior offensive line. And sometimes it looks really good when you blow people off the ball, like we've seen Barton do a couple times. But a lot of times it's just doing your job. It's understanding your assignment, saying, okay, I'm going to stay on this double team until 50 flies over the top. If 50 never flies over the top, I'm just going to stay and hang out right here and keep these two guys sealed. That's exactly what Barton does here, and it lets the Bucs get a first down.
Yeah, Nick. And when we talk about Barton, we talk about what his strengths are. You've mentioned it a couple of times already. I think his ability to mentally, process the game very quickly. He always knows what he's doing, that high football IQ. That is what is really one of his biggest strengths in this game. And you go through his scouting report and they constantly talk about that as well. They say his high football IQ and versatility shine, processing in-game dynamics seamlessly across multiple line positions. This is a guy who's been across multiple positions on the offensive line. He can process everything very quickly, very seamlessly. He always seems like he's knowing what to do. And I think we see that here from Barton.
All right, next play here. Here is Barton at center. We're in a shotgun formation, obviously, as you can see for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. It's going to be another zone blocking scheme, wide zone attack. We're going to get the left tackle working out this way. We're going to get center Barton trying to reach here. We're going to have the left guard sprinting this way. We're going to have these two guys trying to get backside cutoffs here. Again, the whole structure here is that the offense is trying to get these guys right here up front sprinting that way, either running because of the motion or being bullied that way because of the guys up front. And this is where Barton really brings a lot of value to this Buccaneers offense because he can bully people, he can move people. And because he's so effective at dislocating the defense, it forces other defenders to cover ground. What we're going to see over this next play is as Barton gets incredible movement right here, he blows this guy completely this way. We see the linebackers and these defensive linemen, they have to kind of flow to keep up. It opens up a huge cutback lane for the running back. Let's check it out. All right, there's a snap. You can see everybody up front working that zone scheme to the offense's left, the right side of the screen. Watch the movement Barton gets on this defensive lineman right here. Gets on him and just starts blowing him up the field. Look at how much separation there is. Look at where he starts, right? He starts what, 2 yards to the right of this of the hashes right there. Look where he ends up when it's all said and done. About what, three, maybe a little bit more. Let me go a little farther. 3.5 yards to the right of the opposite hash. That is a lot of movement, folks, and it completely dislocates the defense. You see on number 45 right here, linebackers are taught when they see open space, green grass, they have to fill it. See how much green grass right there that's expanded because of what Barton's doing with this movement? It forces 45 to work farther down the line of scrimmage than he wants to, allows the offensive lineman to cut off, and then there's that hole. Right? It is this simple. It's not easy, but it's this simple to run a zone scheme, right? If you get a dislocation up front, if you have guys like Barton driving that dislocation, it forces defenders like number 45 to react to kind of close up those holes, and those open up huge cutback opportunities in the running game. It all starts with Graham Barton up front, and he's proving himself to be a weapon for this Buccaneers offense already. Let's take a look at it from the wide copy. Again, it looks really good here. Look at him right there. Get on this 2-eye technique and just throw him down the line of scrimmage. And not only does he get lateral movement, folks, he gets vertical movement. You can see where contact begins there, right about what, the 14, I would sit there and say. And then Barton works him upfield all the way to about the 16, 17. So not only does he get a lot of horizontal movement, he gets vertical movement as well and makes that cutback even easier. I tell you what, folks, Graham Barton, so early on in his career, is off to a really impressive start. All right, we're going to go with a pass protection here. There's Barton, of course, at the center position. We've got no running backs back there. We're in an empty set. So up here, the offensive linemen, they're going to slide to their left, the right side of the screen. The center, Barton's going to take this gap over. Left guard's going to take this gap over. Left tackle's going to take this gap over right here. And we're going to get one-on-one opportunities here on the backside right here. So again, you got these 5 guys that are basically handling these 4 guys up front, and really by doing it, they're just leaving this gap right here kind of unprotected. That's who the quarterback would be watching. And if that's, say, a 45 were to blitz, he'd have to hit a hot read or something behind it, right? Classic stuff. But anyway, let's focus on Barton here. It's going to be a one-on-one pass protection against what I'm calling a 2-eye technique, because he's on the inside eye of the guard right there. Not an easy block to make, but Barton makes it look easy. Let's check it out. All right, there's a snap. You can see Barton get on him right there. Gets a little help from the left guard. Like to see that from your buddy right there. But Barton gets over there, squares him up, keeps a really good base. See how he keeps dropping his hips lower and lower as he fights through the bull rush, fights off his hands, stays with him. This is awesome stuff. Because if you're one-on-one in this situation, it's really, really tough. Because you know this left guard right here, he's going to be looking to hit the gap to his left. So you got to make sure this defensive lineman doesn't beat you outside with speed. You got to make sure he doesn't beat you with a quick swim move over the top or bull rush you. He's got a 3-way go, number 53 does. And as the center, you got to handle all 3 of those. And Barton does a really good job. Squares him up, drops his hips, keeps a good base, slows down the bull rush, keeps fighting, and gives his quarterback all the protection he needs to eventually hit the check down. This is really nice from Barton. We know he can block in the run game. We've shown that multiple times, but he's a quality pass protector as well. All right, we're going to end on a big win for Barton and a big win for this Tampa Bay Buccaneers offense. You can see the Cincinnati Bengals here. They're trying to threaten the young center. They've got double-A gap linebackers walked up right there along with their other 4 defensive linemen right here at the line of scrimmage. This is a tough situation because you know, in terms of structure for the offense, right, the plan's going to be tackle, man-on-man, guard, man-on-man, guard, man-on-man, tackle, man-on-man. And that means the center has to handle number 50. Linebackers walked up to handle 45. You're on an island, right? You've got a pretty good athlete in this linebacker. You don't know where he's going. Could he be going that way? Could he be going through you? Could he be looping around, right? You have no idea where he's going, and he's a guy that can play in space. That's a 4-5, 4-6 kind of guy. You got to be an athlete in this situation. You got to react and move your feet, show off your stuff, and Barton does all that in just an incredible play right here. Huge play for the Bucs offense. Let's check it out. All right, there's a snap. You can see Barton right there reacts to number 50, but watch 50. He takes a step, then loops around right there. But look at Barton pick him up and completely wash him down the line of scrimmage off to the side, nowhere near the quarterback. This is an incredible rep. This is just outstanding stuff. Would like a little bit more from number 44 right here, right? I mean, that's not great. Don't get bullied and just tossed aside like that. But I tell you what, Barton closes that gap, drives him down, stays on him, keeps running his feet, doesn't hold. Big play down the field. This is what happens, right? We've seen this entire sequence, right? Quarterbacks, running backs making good plays on their own, no denying that. But it all starts with guys like Barton up front doing their jobs and doing their jobs extremely well. At times last year for the Bucs offense with Baker Mayfield, it was a lot of their playmakers stepping up, sometimes in spite of their offensive line. I think this year Barton's going to open up a lot more bigger plays because of their offensive line. He's that good of a player.
Yeah, Nick, and we talk about Barton. We talk about what he brings to the table. Obviously, he has football IQ, and sometimes with a player, you have to pick either or when it comes to athleticism or football IQ. Barton has both. It shows on the tape, and it shows in his testing as well. This is a guy coming out of the combine. He had 94th percentile 40, 4.97 40-yard dash, extremely quick for a guy that big, and as well as his 3-cone drill, the thing that I think is good for that lateral movement, 94th percentile there as well, 7.31 second 3-cone drill, showing the athleticism. We see it on the tape here. Graham Barton seems like he is the total package.